What happens on Capitol Hill has impacts on many issues here in the islands. And to give us an update on congressional activities, U.S. Representative Jill Tokuda joins us live in studio this morning. Mahalo for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And I know you, of course, come home very often.
I do.
And when she does come home, you're spending a lot of time on Maui with everything that's happening there. You were there this weekend when they had the Unity Peace March. Talk to me about that. How was that experience?
It was a chicken skin moment. I would tell you, to have everyone just coming together. So much was lost in the fires, whether it was loved ones, lives, properties, businesses, just, so many cultural artifacts. It was a reminder that we lost a lot, but we still had each other. And the most important thing going forward in the weeks, the months, the years, the generations to come is we have to stay tight to each other and support each other. And that's really what I believe Saturday was all about.
And, I know for those of us who aren't on Maui, and especially for those outside of Hawaii, it's easy to get, forget about it. It gets lost at the bottom of the news cycle, so to speak. So, for those who maybe don't have a connection to Maui, whether it's people who, like family or friends who live there, or they just, it's out of sight, out of mind type of deal, what would you like for people to remember?
Don't forget Maui. We need everyone's support. That's why literally every week that I'm back in Washington, D.C., I do a Maui Minute. And I talk about different aspects. The last one I did talked about housing and mortgages and how Lahaina is not Lahaina without her people. And we have to make sure that people feel they have options. And so every week, literally, I take to the floor, because since the fires, we've had wars break out. We've had other natural disasters. We'll have political issues this year. I never want people to forget it's about Maui. And we need a whole of government approach to support our community, our state, to help us through this.
And of course, you were here. Governor Green did his State of the State yesterday. Maui, a big focus for him and for the state, of course, in 2024. Let's talk about what you're trying to maybe do on the federal level to support that.
Yeah, so it was kind of like going back right to school. I was in the state senate for 12 years and sat right there in front as governors gave their State of the State. So it was really nice to be back amongst old friends and colleagues there. I do really feel that the message that Governor Green was giving and was echoed by the legislature. Yes, it's about Maui. It is also about housing. I do really feel strongly that what we do for Maui, for Lahaina, really echoes in terms of what we need to do for the entire state. Housing is a crisis on Maui right now. We see it, but it is a crisis in every single community in my district, throughout Hawaii. And so the kind of solutions, the kind of urgency that we act on to make sure people have housing, access to healthcare, mental health services, but that we improve infrastructure, we keep our communities safe from fire. Yes, we're looking at Maui, but we've got to do that for every single community. And that was my takeaway, is that it has to be a whole of government approach and a shared responsibility we have, whether you're in state government or you're in the federal government. How are we going to contribute to communities feeling safe, secure, and seeing a future for themselves here?
And I know that was something we've talked about the last few times you've been here with us in Good Morning Hawaii, is the whole idea of being priced out of paradise, and how do we keep people here at home? What are some of your priorities as we head into 2024 to try and accomplish that?
Sadly, from the time that I've last sat here till now, how many people have left? And not just because of the fires, but literally just felt they had no other option. And so I continue to make sure that in Congress, we're focusing on some of the most basic human needs. When it's Maui, it's housing, it's mental health services, it's those types of things, school and education, but also making sure that you have the ability to keep a roof over your head. As I've told people before, there's no such thing as affordable housing. We've got to create housing people can afford at the various points of their life that they're in, whether it's a young family starting out or kupuna needing, a little extra support, but really focusing things on, like food, money, TANF. We get the short end of the stick here in Hawaii because food is so expensive. That does not mean we should not get more to be able to put food on the table for our families. I've been fighting for increased TANF funds to reflect, the kind of costs that we have here. So many other things, again, focused on those basic human needs. And again, healthcare, transportation, affordable transportation for our neighbor islands communities. All of these things I'm continuing to fight for in Congress.
And of course, we thank you for doing that on that national level. And of course, you as we go into the second year, you had that first year on Capitol Hill. Just talk to me about that experience overall.
Well, we're starting off on definitely a lot of challenges hitting us. When we go back, we will again face another challenge to be able to make sure we don't shut down government. So we're still trying to pass these appropriation bills for fiscal year 24. Meanwhile, we're going to have to start negotiations and finish fiscal year 25 as well. And as you know, I sit on the Armed Services Committee and the Agriculture Committee. Both of these committees have tall orders. We have to pass a farm bill. We did not do that last year. Agriculture is so important. Feeding our families, helping our farmers and producers. I'm going to keep fighting for that as well as we continue to negotiate going towards the September-October period of this year. The NDAA, the Defense Authorization Act, we did pass it last year, but we're starting up another round this year. And so we definitely have our work cut out for us in Congress. And I think we have to remember to maybe lead and act with a little more aloha up there so that we can actually get this done on behalf of the people, doing what's good for people. And that's definitely what we're fighting for up there in Congress, to make sure that what we pass, what we pay for, reflects the needs, the opportunities that we want for our communities.
Well, thank you, Representative, for joining us here this morning. Happy to have you, as always.
Thank you.